Late one evening, as Oleg was driving home, the sky opened up and a torrential downpour began. The rain was so heavy that he had to slow down, barely able to see the road ahead. As he approached a secluded stretch of highway flanked by dense woods, his headlights caught the silhouette of a figure standing by the roadside. Drawing closer, Oleg saw a woman, drenched and shivering, waving desperately for help. Her clothes clung to her body and her hair was plastered to her face. Feeling a pang of compassion, he pulled over and rolled down the window. "Do you need a ride?" he asked, trying to be heard over the pounding rain. "Yes, please," she replied, her voice trembling. "My car broke down and there's no signal out here." Oleg unlocked the door and the woman quickly climbed in, bringing with her a gust of cold, wet air. She introduced herself as Anna and thanked him profusely. As they drove, they made small talk, Oleg trying to put her at ease. She seemed nice enough, though there was an air of mystery about her that he couldn't quite put his finger on. They reached the edge of the city, and Oleg dropped Anna off at a small, rundown motel. She thanked him again, giving him a look that he found hard to forget. "You're a lifesaver," she said, before disappearing into the night. The next morning, Oleg was awoken by an unusual noise. He stumbled out of bed and peered out the window to see a helicopter hovering low over his house. Bewildered, he stepped outside just as the helicopter landed in his backyard. Men in black suits and sunglasses emerged, looking serious and official. "Mr. Oleg Ivanov?" one of them called out. "Yes, that's me," Oleg replied, heart pounding. "We need to talk to you about Anna," the man said, showing a badge that indicated he was with some government agency. "She's not who she claimed to be. She's a highly wanted criminal, and we believe you may have information that can help us locate her." Oleg's mind raced as he tried to process the information. The woman he had helped seemed harmless, but clearly there was much more to her story. The agents questioned him for hours, meticulously noting every detail he could remember about Anna and their conversation. Days turned into weeks, and Oleg couldn't shake the feeling of unease. He kept replaying the night he met Anna, wondering how he could have missed the signs. The authorities kept in touch, updating him on their search, but Anna remained elusive. One evening, as Oleg was sitting in his living room, he received a call from an unknown number. He answered hesitantly. "Hello, Oleg," said a familiar voice on the other end. It was Anna. "I owe you an explanation and an apology. I'm sorry for dragging you into this. I never meant to cause you trouble." "Where are you?" Oleg asked, torn between anger and curiosity. "Somewhere safe," she replied cryptically. "Thank you for your kindness that night. It meant more to me than you know. Goodbye, Oleg." The line went dead, leaving Oleg with more questions than answers. He sat there staring at the phone, wondering if he would ever see Anna again. The rain started to pour outside once more, mirroring the turbulent emotions within him. As Oleg put down the phone, he felt a mix of relief and frustration. Anna's sudden call had left him with more questions than answers, and he couldn't shake the feeling that he was somehow still entangled in her mysterious world. He tried to resume his normal routine, but the encounter with Anna and the subsequent visit from the government agents lingered in his mind. A few weeks later, Oleg received another unexpected visit. This time, it was a single man, dressed in plain clothes but carrying an air of authority. He introduced himself as Agent Volkov, and despite his casual attire, it was clear he was part of the same agency that had been searching for Anna. "Mr. Ivanov," Volkov began, "we have new information regarding Anna. We believe she may attempt to contact you again. It is crucial that you inform us immediately if she does." Oleg nodded, agreeing to the request. Volkov handed him a small device. "This is a secure phone. Use it to contact us directly if you hear from her." Days turned into weeks, and Oleg tried to move on, but he couldn't escape the shadow of his brief encounter with Anna. He went to work, met with friends, and even tried to date, but nothing felt quite right. He was always looking over his shoulder, waiting for something, anything, to happen. One rainy evening, Oleg returned home to find a letter slipped under his door. The envelope was plain, with no return address. He opened it cautiously, his heart racing. Inside was a handwritten note. "Oleg, I need your help once more. Meet me at the old train station at midnight. Come alone. Anna?" Oleg's mind raced. Should he inform the authorities? The rational part of him screamed yes, but curiosity and a strange sense of loyalty to Anna urged him to go alone. He grabbed the secure phone but hesitated, then put it back in his pocket without making the call. As midnight approached, Oleg drove to the old train station on the outskirts of town. The building was dilapidated and long abandoned, making it the perfect meeting place for someone on the run. He parked his car and cautiously made his way inside, his footsteps echoing in the empty hall. Anna was there, waiting. She looked different, tired, worn down by whatever chase she had been a part of, but her eyes still held that same intensity. "Oleg," she said softly, "thank you for coming." "Anna, what is going on? Why are you in so much trouble?" Oleg asked, his voice filled with concern. "I can't explain everything now," she replied, glancing around nervously, "but I need your help to get out of the country. There's a group after me, and they're closing in. If you can get me to the border, I have contacts who can help me disappear." Oleg felt a surge of conflicting emotions. He wanted to help, but he also knew the risks involved. "Anna, this is dangerous. The authorities are looking for you. I could go to prison for aiding you." Anna stepped closer, her eyes pleading. "I understand, but you're the only person I trust. Please, Oleg, I have no one else." After a moment of silence, Oleg nodded. "All right, I'll help you, but we need to be careful." They devised a plan. Oleg would drive Anna to a remote border crossing, avoiding major roads and checkpoints. He knew it was risky, but something inside him compelled him to see it through. The next evening, under the cover of darkness, they set out. The rain poured down, just like the night they had first met. Oleg's heart pounded as he navigated the back roads, constantly checking the rearview mirror for any signs of pursuit. As they approached the border, Anna directed him to a secluded spot where she said her contacts would be waiting. The area was desolate, with nothing but trees and darkness surrounding them. "We're almost there," Anna said, her voice a mix of relief and anxiety. Suddenly, headlights appeared in the distance, rapidly approaching. Oleg's heart raced as he realized they were being followed. "Anna, we have to move, now!" They abandoned the car and ran into the woods. The sound of their pursuers growing louder, Oleg's mind raced as he tried to think of a way out. They stumbled through the underbrush, the rain making the ground slippery and treacherous. Finally, they reached a clearing. Anna's contacts were there, a group of rugged-looking individuals with serious expressions. They quickly ushered Anna into a waiting vehicle. "Oleg," she said, turning to him one last time, "thank you. I won't forget this." Before he could respond, the vehicle sped off into the night, leaving him standing alone in the rain. He felt a strange mix of relief and sadness, knowing that he might never see Anna again. Oleg made his way back to his car, soaked and exhausted. He drove home in a daze, replaying the night's events in his mind. As he pulled into his driveway, he saw the secure phone on the passenger seat. He knew he had to make a choice. Taking a deep breath, he picked up the phone and dialed the number Volkov had given him. "This is Oleg Ivanov. Anna is gone. She crossed the border." There was a pause on the other end, and then Volkov's voice came through. "Understood. We'll take it from here." Oleg hung up and sat in his car, the rain pounding on the roof. He had done what he thought was right, but he couldn't shake the feeling of uncertainty. He had helped Anna escape, but at what cost? The next morning, life seemed to return to normal, but Oleg knew it never would be the same. The encounter with Anna had changed him, leaving him with a sense of unease that he couldn't shake. Months passed, and Oleg tried to move on, but the memory of Anna lingered. He often wondered where she was, if she was safe, and if she ever thought of him. He knew that his life had been forever altered by that rainy night when he had decided to help a stranger. One evening, as he sat on his porch, watching the sunset, his phone rang. It was an unknown number. He hesitated, then answered. "Oleg, it's Anna," said the familiar voice on the other end. "I'm safe, thanks to you. I just wanted to let you know that I haven't forgotten what you did for me." Oleg smiled, a sense of peace washing over him. "I'm glad to hear that, Anna. Take care of yourself." "You too, Oleg. Goodbye." The line went dead, but this time, Oleg felt a sense of closure. He had done what he thought was right, and he had no regrets. Life would go on, but he would always carry the memory of Anna and the rainy night that had changed everything. Oleg's life slowly began to return to a semblance of normalcy. The encounter with Anna and the following events had left a deep impact on him, but he tried to focus on his work and everyday activities to regain some sense of routine. The memory of Anna was always in the back of his mind, but as weeks turned into months, he began to think about her less often. One crisp autumn morning, as Oleg was sipping his coffee and reading the news, there was a knock at his door. He opened it to find Agent Volkov standing there, looking as serious as ever. "Good morning, Mr. Ivanov," Volkov said, his tone formal. May I come in? Oleg nodded, stepping aside to let the agent in. They sat in the living room, the air thick with unspoken tension. We have new information about Anna, Volkov began. We believe she may be in danger again. Some of her former associates are unhappy with her and might be trying to track her down. We need your help to find her. Oleg felt a wave of anxiety wash over him. I haven't heard from her since that phone call. How am I supposed to find her? Volkov leaned forward, his eyes piercing. We think she might reach out to you again. You made an impression on her, Oleg. If she does contact you, we need to know immediately. Her life could depend on it. Oleg nodded, feeling a familiar mix of worry and responsibility. Of course, I'll let you know if I hear anything. The next few days were tense. Oleg found himself constantly checking his phone, jumping at every unexpected noise. He knew Anna was resourceful, but he couldn't shake the feeling that she was in real danger. One evening, as he was preparing dinner, his phone rang. The number was unknown, but something told him it was Anna. He answered quickly. Oleg, came her voice, sounding urgent. I need your help again. They're closing in on me. I don't know where to go. Where are you? Oleg asked, his heart pounding. I'm at an old cabin near the lake, north of the city. Can you come? Please, Oleg. I'll be there as soon as I can, he replied, grabbing his keys and heading out the door. As Oleg drove toward the lake, he called Agent Volkov using the secure phone. I just heard from Anna. She's at a cabin near the lake, north of the city. I'm heading there now. Stay on the line, Oleg. We'll send a team to back you up, Volkov instructed. Oleg arrived at the cabin, his headlights cutting through the darkness. The place looked abandoned, but he could see a faint light inside. He approached cautiously, his heart racing. Anna, it's Oleg, he called out softly as he entered the cabin. Anna appeared from the shadows, looking more frail and desperate than before. Thank you for coming, she said, her voice trembling. I don't know what to do. We're going to get you out of here, Oleg reassured her. The authorities are on their way. We'll keep you safe. Before they could say anything more, the sound of vehicles approaching filled the air. Oleg looked out the window and saw several black SUVs pulling up. That must be Volkov and his team, he said, feeling a surge of relief. But as the men got out of the vehicles, Oleg realized something was wrong. They weren't wearing uniforms or carrying badges. They looked more like mercenaries than government agents. Oleg, those aren't the good guys, Anna whispered, fear in her eyes. Oleg grabbed her hand. We need to get out of here now. They slipped out the back door and into the woods, running as fast as they could. The rain began to pour down, making the ground slippery and difficult to navigate. The sounds of their pursuers grew louder, and Oleg knew they had to find a place to hide. Over here, he whispered, leading Anna to a small cave hidden behind a thicket of bushes. They crouched inside, trying to catch their breath. Oleg, I'm so sorry I dragged you into this, Anna said, her voice barely audible. We'll get through this, he replied, trying to sound more confident than he felt. The sound of footsteps and voices grew closer, and Oleg knew it was only a matter of time before they were found. He looked around, searching for anything that could help them. His eyes landed on a large branch lying on the ground outside the cave. It wasn't much, but it was better than nothing. Stay here, he whispered to Anna, picking up the branch and stepping out of the cave. He moved quietly, trying to get a better view of their pursuers. There were 6 of them, heavily armed and methodically searching the area. Oleg knew they didn't stand a chance in a direct confrontation. Just as he was about to retreat back into the cave, he heard a voice call out, "Over here! I found something!" Panic surged through him. He turned to run back to Anna, but it was too late. One of the men spotted him and raised his weapon. "Stop right there!" the man shouted. Oleg froze, raising his hands. "I'm not armed," he said, trying to keep his voice steady. "Where's the girl?" the man demanded, stepping closer. Oleg didn't respond, his mind racing. He needed to buy Anna some time, but he didn't know how. Before he could think of a plan, a loud noise erupted from the trees. The mercenaries turned, their attention diverted. Oleg took the opportunity to swing the branch at the man closest to him, knocking him to the ground. "Run, Anna!" he shouted, bolting towards the cave. Anna emerged, her eyes wide with fear. Together, they ran deeper into the woods, the sounds of gunfire and shouting echoing behind them. They didn't stop until they reached a clearing where a small, secluded cabin stood. "Get inside," Oleg urged, pushing the door open. They barricaded the door and looked around for anything that could be used as a weapon. The cabin was sparsely furnished, but Oleg found a hunting rifle mounted on the wall. "Do you know how to use this?" Anna asked, her voice trembling. "A little," Oleg replied, checking the rifle's chamber. It was loaded. Let's hope we don't have to. They sat in silence, listening to the sounds of the forest. The rain had stopped, and the night was eerily quiet. Oleg's mind raced as he tried to think of their next move. We can't stay here, he finally said. They'll find us eventually. Anna nodded. I have a contact who can help us, but we need to get to a phone. Oleg pulled out the secure phone Volkov had given him. Let's call your contact first, then we'll call Volkov. Anna took the phone and dialed a number from memory. It's me, she said when someone answered. I need help. We're in the woods near the old cabin by the lake. Can you get us out? She listened for a moment, then handed the phone back to Oleg. They're on their way. We just need to hold out until they get here. Oleg nodded and dialed Volkov's number. This is Oleg. We've escaped the mercenaries, but we're still in danger. We're at a cabin in the woods near the lake. We're tracking your signal, Volkov replied. Hold tight. We'll be there as soon as we can. The wait was agonizing. Every noise outside made Oleg jump, and he kept the rifle close at hand. Anna paced the small cabin, her anxiety palpable. Finally, headlights appeared in the distance. Oleg peered out the window and saw several vehicles approaching. I think our help is here, he said, feeling a surge of relief. They stepped outside, cautiously approaching the vehicles. A group of people emerged, led by a woman who looked both determined and kind. Anna, the woman said, rushing forward to embrace her. We've been so worried. Thank you for coming, Anna replied, tears of relief streaming down her face. The woman turned to Oleg. You must be Oleg. Thank you for protecting her. We'll take it from here. Oleg nodded, feeling a strange mix of emotions. He watched as Anna was ushered into one of the vehicles, her safety finally assured. Wait, Anna said, turning back to him. Thank you, Oleg, for everything. Take care, Anna, he replied, feeling a sense of closure. As the vehicles drove away, Oleg stood there for a moment, letting the events of the past few days wash over him. He had done what he thought was right, and despite the danger, he had no regrets. When he returned home, he found Agent Volkov waiting for him. Good work, Oleg, Volkov said. Anna is safe thanks to you. Oleg nodded, feeling a sense of accomplishment. What happens now? We'll continue to monitor the situation, Volkov replied. But for now, you can rest. You've done your part. As Oleg closed the door behind him, he felt a weight lift off his shoulders. He had faced danger and uncertainty, but he had also found strength and resilience within himself. Life would go on, and while the memory of Anna and their harrowing adventure would always be with him, he felt ready to move forward. In the weeks that followed, Oleg returned to his routine, but with a newfound sense of purpose. He took up new hobbies, reconnected with old friends, and even started volunteering at a local shelter. The experience with Anna had changed him, but in many ways, it had also made him stronger. One evening, as he was reading on his porch, he received a letter. The handwriting was unfamiliar, but something about it made his heart race. He opened it and found a simple note. Oleg, thank you for everything. I'm safe and starting a new life. I hope you are well. You will always have my gratitude. Anna. Oleg smiled, feeling a sense of peace. He knew he had made a difference, and that was enough. Life was unpredictable and often challenging, but he had learned that he was capable of facing whatever came his way. And with that knowledge, he felt ready for whatever the future held. The arrival of Anna's letter brought a new sense of closure to Oleg, but life, as it often does, continued to surprise him. As winter set in, the city was blanketed with snow, and Oleg found himself more introspective than ever. He spent long evenings by the fireplace, reflecting on his recent experiences and the unexpected turns his life had taken. One cold January evening, as Oleg was enjoying a quiet dinner, there was another knock at his door. He opened it to find a young woman standing there, bundled up against the cold. She had a striking resemblance to Anna, and for a moment, Oleg's heart skipped a beat. Hello, are you Oleg Ivanov? She asked, her voice trembling slightly. Yes, I am, Oleg replied, feeling a mix of curiosity and concern. My name is Elena, she said. I'm Anna's sister. Oleg felt a surge of surprise. Anna had never mentioned a sister. Come in, please. It's freezing out there, he said, stepping aside to let her in. Once inside, Elena removed her coat and looked around nervously. I know this is unexpected, but Anna told me about you. She said you were the only one she could trust. Is Anna all right? Oleg asked, his concern growing. She's safe, Elena reassured him, but she's still in hiding and she needs your help again. Oleg sighed, feeling the weight of the situation settle on his shoulders. What can I do? Elena took a deep breath. There's something Anna left behind, something important. She couldn't retrieve it herself without risking exposure, so she asked me to find you. She trusts you more than anyone else. What is it? Oleg asked, his curiosity piqued. It's a flash drive, Elena explained. It contains information that could expose the people who are after her. If we can get it to the right authorities, we might be able to end this once and for all. Oleg nodded, feeling a sense of determination. Where is it? Elena pulled out a map and pointed to a location deep in the forest, not far from the cabin where Oleg had last seen Anna. It's hidden in a safe box under an old oak tree. Anna gave me the coordinates. All right, Oleg said, feeling a renewed sense of purpose. We'll go together. The next morning, they set out at dawn. The forest was covered in snow, making the journey difficult, but Oleg was determined. He and Elena followed the coordinates Anna had provided, trekking through the icy wilderness. After several hours of searching, they finally found the old oak tree. It stood tall and imposing, its branches bare against the winter sky. Oleg began to dig at the base of the tree, his hands growing numb from the cold. Elena helped, and together they uncovered a small metal box. Inside the box was the flash drive, just as Elena had described. Oleg felt a sense of triumph as he held it in his hand. We did it, he said, turning to Elena. She smiled, relief evident on her face. Thank you, Oleg. I knew you could do it. They made their way back to the city, their spirits lifted by the success of their mission. As they approached Oleg's house, they noticed a black SUV parked nearby. Oleg's heart sank as he recognized it as one of the vehicles used by the mercenaries who had pursued Anna. Stay close, he whispered to Elena, his eyes scanning the area for any signs of danger. They entered the house cautiously, but it was empty. Oleg quickly locked the doors and pulled out the secure phone Volkov had given him. He dialed the number, his hand shaking slightly. Volkov, it's Oleg. We have the flash drive, but I think we're being watched. Stay where you are, Volkov replied. We'll send a team immediately. Oleg hung up and turned to Elena. Help is on the way. We just need to stay safe until they get here. They waited in tense silence, the seconds ticking by like hours. Oleg kept a watchful eye on the windows, his mind racing with possibilities. He knew they were in a dangerous situation, but he also knew they had something that could turn the tide in Anna's favor. Finally, the sound of approaching vehicles broke the silence. Oleg looked out the window and saw several black SUVs pull up, but these were different from the one they had seen earlier. He recognized the insignia of Volkov's agency on the doors. It's them, he said, relief flooding his voice. Volkov and his team entered the house, their presence bringing a sense of security. Good work, Oleg, Volkov said, clapping him on the shoulder. We'll take it from here. Oleg handed over the flash drive. This has everything you need to bring them down. Volkov nodded, slipping the drive into his pocket. We'll make sure it gets to the right people. You've done more than enough. As Volkov and his team prepared to leave, Elena turned to Oleg. Thank you for everything. I don't know how we would have managed without you. Just take care of Anna, Oleg replied, feeling a sense of closure once again. And take care of yourself. With the flash drive in safe hands, Oleg felt a weight lift off his shoulders. He watched as Volkov's team drove away, taking with them the key to ending the threat that had loomed over Anna for so long. In the weeks that followed, Oleg resumed his life with a renewed sense of peace. He stayed in touch with Elena, who kept him updated on Anna's situation. The information on the flash drive proved invaluable, leading to the arrest of several key figures involved in the conspiracy against Anna. One evening, as Oleg was relaxing with a book, his phone rang. It was a number he didn't recognize, but something told him to answer. Oleg, said a familiar voice. It's Anna. He smiled, feeling a warmth spread through him. Anna, it's good to hear your voice. How are you? I'm safe, she replied, and I owe it all to you. Thank you for everything. I'm just glad you're all right, Oleg said, his voice filled with sincerity. What's next for you? I'm starting a new life, Anna said. One where I don't have to look over my shoulder all the time. And I wanted you to know that you're a big part of that. Take care of yourself, Anna, Oleg said, feeling a sense of finality. You deserve to be happy. You too, Oleg. Goodbye. As the call ended, Oleg felt a profound sense of closure. He had helped Anna find her way to safety and had played a part in bringing justice to those who had wronged her. It was a journey that had tested him in ways he never imagined, but it had also shown him his own strength and resilience. Life slowly returned to normal for Oleg. He continued his work, enjoyed time with friends, and embraced new hobbies. The experiences with Anna had changed him, but they had also given him a deeper appreciation for the simple moments in life. Months turned into years, and Oleg found himself thinking of Anna less frequently. The memories of their time together became cherished stories he would occasionally recount to close friends, always with a sense of wonder at how much his life had changed. One spring day, as Oleg was gardening in his backyard, a letter arrived. It was from Elena, and inside was a photograph of Anna, smiling and happy, standing in front of a small cottage by the sea. The note read, "Oleg, Anna wanted you to have this. She's doing well and living a peaceful life. We both wanted to thank you again for everything. You're always in our hearts. Elena." Oleg smiled as he looked at the photograph. Anna had found her peace, and in a way, so had he. The journey they had shared was a testament to the power of trust, courage, and the human spirit's resilience. As he placed the photograph on his mantle, Oleg felt a profound sense of contentment. Life was full of unexpected twists and turns, but he knew that he had made a difference. And that was more than enough.